Hey people, Misfit here. Stolen intro aside, today I want to talk about Lobotomy Corporation. A game that has caused me depression, PTSD, and single-handedly made me question the legality of human-robot relationships. Now that last part may be due to my deteriorating mental state. However, I never craved the touch of a cold, synthetic machine until playing this game. In Lobotomy Corporation, the entire world looks pretty similar to modern-day Russia. Needless to say, life is pretty terrible, and the only saving grace from this horrible communist lifestyle is the energy generated by the creatures locked away inside Lobotomy Corporation. And now it's your job to learn as much as you can about these abnormalities, so that you can generate your daily energy quota with as few deaths as possible. The more dangerous the abnormality is, the more energy it tends to produce.
You wanna get hammered?
But how do you learn about them? Well, that's simple. You'll be seeing a lot of this. But don't worry, you're not alone in your genocide of the entire employment workforce, because you're accompanied by multiple highly advanced and oddly attractive robot assistants called Saphira. Each Saphira manages their own department and has their own lifelike personalities. From Hob, who is optimistic and encourages everyone to do their best, to Yasad, who is he's a sensitive one. Each day you'll learn a little bit about the Saphiras, while slowly wanting to enter a sexual relationship with them. It's not weird. At the start of each day, you'll be able to hire, enhance, and equip your employees for their probable deaths, and are then given 3 containment cells to choose from, each with a number and a brief description to help explain what's inside. Now you could look up what each containment cell is and optimize your facility. However, that's the wrong way to play the game. The right way is to pick whatever sounds most likely to violently murder everything around it. It usually doesn't go that well. As the facility continues to expand, you'll stop getting passive abnormalities that just sit there and tempt you to drink them, and instead get abnormalities that want to end the fabric of existence. So do yourself a favor and make sure they don't do that one. Each abnormality has their own requirements to be kept docile, and also have their own unique ways to fuck with you, in and outside of their containment cells. From slowly creating a legion of mindless servants, to just causing someone to explode. Surprisingly, this one isn't that bad. Keeping everything in order is pretty unrealistic, and things start to get very hectic. But luckily, the game allows you to pause whenever you need to plan ahead, or take a breather. And speaking of breathers, let's use this time to thank our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. A totally original and unique experience that has never been done before. With pixels and gameplay? I have a confession to make. I wasn't actually sponsored. And that probably has nothing to do with my lack of uploads. At the end of each day, you'll be awarded with Lob, depending on how well you did. What is Lob? I wouldn't worry about it. But you can spend it on hiring and customizing new workers, or increasing their stats. Stats can also be increased naturally as your employees continue to work on abnormalities and somehow survive.
You did it. Good job. I can't believe it. I'm proud of you.
For example, instinct work will increase maximum health. Insight will increase max sanity. Attachment will... never mind. And repression will increase justice, which increases movement speed, attack speed, and allows you to protect miladies over the internet. Some abnormalities, however, do better with low-level workers, or with workers that have lower stats in some categories, so having a diverse range of employees is necessary to keep everything running smoothly. You'll also want to use a wide range of gear to accommodate the 4 different damage types. Every abnormality has its own resistances, so you want to keep a nice spread of damage available. Red being the extremely primitive yet oddly satisfying. Damage type of just beating something until it stops moving. White being mental damage, which can also be used to restore the sanity of an employee. Useful for when someone has just seen too much shit for one day.
Thank you.
Black is just a bad 50-50 split of red and white. And pale, which does % health damage. Pale is typically the hardest damage type to come around, and most things are weak to it, so it's pretty damn good. As you research abnormalities, you'll learn what they're weak to, and also be able to craft armor and weapons based off of them. Some being more practical than others. Each department also has a unique set of tasks for you to do. Doing these isn't mandatory, but if you can do them, you should prioritize it, because they give upgrades to your employees and the facility, ranging from passive healing to increasing how fast your workers level. One of my personal favorite upgrades being a gun with varying types of ammo. The gun opens up a lot of the game's mechanics, such as being able to shield or heal anyone in the middle of combat. Or you could be like the world's most infamous religion of peace and just execute anyone on a whim. It's honestly a lot more useful than you'd think. Due to the fact that you gain a random selection of abnormalities each day, no run is really the same. You may have a breeze going through each day, or you might get stuck and have to restart. Luckily, you're not meant to win on your first try, so if you do restart, you keep all of your equipment, department buffs, and knowledge from your previous runs. Overall, I'd have to rate this game 7 pairs of Adidas tracksuits, a perfect score for any modern day Russian wardrobe. It's honestly a ton of fun, and the disturbing atmosphere, mixed with the excellent storytelling, easily makes it one of my favorite games, and I highly recommend you play it. The devs over at Project Moon also have another game in early development, and I'm very excited about it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some important things to get back to.